This happened when I was really young. I'm talking about second or third grade. Most of my memories from that age are vague. Fragments of laughter at recess, the smell of peanut butter sandwiches, the warm blur of childhood simplicity. But this memory? This one is clear, so painfully clear that even now, decades later, I still remember the rain. It had been raining since early morning, one of those endless gray days where it feels like the sky is just bleeding. I remember the bus ride home, windows fogged up, the driver grumbling at every red light. My parents picked me up from school that afternoon dressed a little fancier than usual, my mom in heels, my dad in a blazer. They were headed to some kind of upscale event that night, maybe a fundraiser, maybe a dinner party. I can't remember exactly, just that they were supposed to come back. But the storm got worse. By evening, it was a full-on thunderstorm. Trees bent in the wind. Thunder cracked so loud it shook the windows. My parents called me from a landline. Cell phones weren't common back then and told me they were stuck. It wasn't safe to drive. They were going to stay overnight at a friend's place. I told them I was fine, that I'd be okay, and I meant it. At that age, being home alone felt like a privilege. I had the whole place to myself. No bedtime. No eat your vegetables. Just me, a couch, and a mountain of candy I wasn't supposed to touch. My mom gave me a list before she hung up. Lock all the doors, close every window, turn a light on, and shut the blinds. All standard stuff. I promised I'd do it. But I didn't. I told myself I'd take care of everything right before bed. Except, I never made it to bed. I fell asleep watching cartoons, candy wrappers scattered like confetti around me. I must have passed out hard, because when I woke up, the house was pitch black. The TV was off. The rain was still hammering against the roof. The first thing I noticed was the cold, not just a chill. I mean cold, like walking into a freezer. My skin prickled. I remember rubbing my arms, thinking maybe the power had gone out and taken the heater with it. Still groggy, I got up to check the list my mom had made. I didn't want to get in trouble, even though I already knew I'd failed. I checked every door and window, locked, blinds closed. Nothing seemed out of place, but the cold still lingered. I touched one of the living room windows, and it was icy, but sealed. Everything was sealed. Still, something felt off. The air in the house felt wrong, heavy, like it was pressing down on me, watching me. Trying to shake the feeling, I went upstairs to my bedroom. That's when the storm really hit. My room had a big window facing the backyard. The moment I stepped inside, I was surrounded by the sounds of howling wind and pounding rain. It felt like the storm had surrounded the room, clawing at the glass to get in. Lightning flashed every few seconds, followed by thunder so loud it rattled my desk lamp. I wasn't scared of storms back then, but that night felt different. Tried to sleep, pulled the blanket over my head and squeezed my eyes shut, but the storm wouldn't let me rest. And then I heard it, a creak, soft, subtle. Then again, creak, creak, like pressure shifting on old wood. I told myself it was the house settling, but my room had carpet, no wood. The sound wasn't coming from me. And then, another flash of lightning lit up the room for a second, and I saw it, the closet. It was ajar, just barely. But I was certain I'd closed it. My heart stopped. I stared at the dark gap, praying it was just a trick of the light. Then another flash, and I saw something worse. A hand. Just barely visible, thin, pale, dirty, resting against the inside of the closet door. I didn't scream. I didn't even breathe. I slid out of bed as quietly as I could, heart pounding like a war drum. Each step toward the hallway felt like it took an eternity. The silence between the creaks was deafening. I made it to the hallway. I didn't look back. I didn't want to know if the hand was still there. or if it was following me. I ran downstairs and crawled under the dining room table, and finally I cried. Not loud sobs, just silent, shaking terror, the kind of fear that makes your bones ache. My parents were miles away. No phone in reach, just me and the storm. And then I heard it. Footsteps coming down the stairs, but not normal footsteps. Uneven, erratic, like someone stumbling, tripping every few steps, or jumping. Thump, thump, stagger, thump. They were getting closer. I held my breath under the table. And then, feet. Two bare, muddy, grotesque feet stepped into view. Yellow-tinted skin. Cuts all over, like they had crawled through broken glass. They were swaying, barely standing. Then something dropped. A metal clatter. A wrench. I don't know why, but that sound terrified me more than anything else. The sound was too loud. Too final. I thought if they bent down to pick it up, they'd see me, and I'd die. But they didn't pick it up. They just stood there, not moving, not speaking, just breathing, ragged, shallow, unnatural. Then finally, they staggered away. Stayed hidden for what felt like hours. When I finally got the courage to move, I picked up the wrench. I still don't know why. Maybe I thought it was a trophy. Maybe I just didn't want my parents to see it. Eventually, I crept back upstairs and locked my bedroom door. I didn't sleep. I just sat on the bed, clutching the wrench, staring at the closet, waiting for the sun. When morning came, it was like nothing had happened. No footprints, no handprints, no wrench, no open closet, just silence. I never told my parents, at least not until years later, and even then, they didn't believe me. Thought it was a dream, a kid's imagination. But I know what I saw. I know what I felt. And to this day, I sleep with the closet door locked. I double-check every window before bed, because no matter how many years pass, I still feel the cold, and sometimes, when it rains at night, I still hear the creak